Hello everybody, it's Narrative Tarot. I'm here with Aries or Mars, January 2022 tarot reading. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Check out any other stuff that's around. Yeah, my name is Narrative Tarot. I read by planet, but for the purposes of YouTube, algorithm, and just people's general knowing, I put things in the zodiac on the video, but in parentheses you see the planet. That's what I'm actually, So yeah, this reading may be shorter than the last two others. Well, not last two, but all of them. They're about 20 minutes right now. Because I usually have two decks for you guys per planet, but because my decks are organized by planet, that's why. But I only got one, and it felt like I only needed one. So either there's like a massive story or your story, advice, whatever's like in the trash is like really heavy. So it's just like pulling it under. It just needs this one. So I have the Awakening, what is it, Aeon Tarot, Awaken the Oracle Within. It's by Marcia O'Hara, and the text is by Ingrid Coffin. That's what it looks like. Cool. So let's get started. Looks like this. And alright. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just very interesting. So you got Two of Swords, you got the Ace of Wands, and you got the Ace of Cups, and then you got the 10 of Pentacles or 10 of Discs. So your eyes may be affected this month. Your eyes may be affected this month. Your ability to see may be affected this month. Your ability to process may be affected. You could be a Libra moon with this particularly, or you could have a Virgo Mercury. But your eyes and all of that could be affected, or your ability to process. Something needs to be processed. Something needs to be, something needs to be like processed or whatever. And you have the impetus or the reward. Let's see what's at the gate. Okay. You have, so you have this Two of Swords, and then I see the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and the 10 of Pentacles all after that, right? After this, it's all of these, right? And then for the gate that you got to go through, it's the 5 of Cups or Mars and Scorpio. Let's read what this one is, because this does have a guidebook with it. It's not really long descriptions, but yeah, 5 of Cups. A time of introspection. Look deeply inside of yourself and do not allow your conscious mind to shield you from your true motivation. Honest assessment is the key. Do not be afraid of the dark. So, let's see why you were. What are you diving deep into? You want to be there. I feel like you're diving deep into a divorce. You have the Two of Cups, the 4 of Swords, then you have the King of Cups, Queen of Discs, Queen of Swords, Five of Discs, Nine of Cups. So you could be trying to think about the relationship your parents had, particularly if there's, okay, so you may have been cheated on, and it reminds you of your parents' relationship when somebody cheated on. You have the Nine of Swords and the Four of Wands. I'm going to say, if you were to talk to your parents, you probably would learn that they were never interested in each other in the way that you think. I'm like looking. This is my laptop. You would find that they probably weren't as interested in each other as you think. I think it's okay. It's like it's not fully like this, but like Princess Di, like that whole situation where like clearly there's like a guy and two women, and everybody like sides with like Princess Di, and then I think also because she also passed away and very tragically, that everybody's like, ah. But one of the things with that is when you start delving into like the other woman was quite known, and you start to, when I was looking into it and watching stuff, it seemed like he really wanted to be with the woman he's actually with now, like, right? And it was more of a publicity thing to be with, like, you know, who he ended up being with, like, you know. Talking about like Charles and Diana, right, and Camilla. It could be a situation like that where like you see, or you could just, they may be also getting divorced. They could have waited until you turned 18. They could have waited until you understood what was going on. Maybe that was like one of the pacts. But like, it seems like they could all be quite happy with everything. There's freedom on all ends to pursue whatever wants to be pursued, and whoever they want to pursue. So like, don't be surprised if your parents divorce, that like there's somebody in the wings like immediately. It's just, that's what happens. And then also with this, for you, it could be something like you break up or divorce or whatever, and there's somebody waiting in the wings for you, like right off the bat. Now, some of you, that could be a lesson to see if like you're aligned. You're aligned and you know what you want, having been through what you didn't want. 2, are you willing to step out on faith and below convention of like what people think? Because sometimes it's not like a thing where you need to wait like, you know, 2-3 years before you like finally settle down with some people. Some people, they get divorced and then they meet somebody, and then in a year or 2 they're married again. And that may be somebody's story out here. Or 3 to just wait. That's another option, to just kind of wait to see if you're desperate or if you haven't healed enough. Yeah. So for this, it could be parent issues. It could be issues related to crowds, relationship dynamics. It could be relationship dynamics or a pattern of always being cheated on, or always having like competition, female competition type things going on. So that may be an exploration that needs to happen. You have the Eight of Swords, the Three of Discs, and the High Priestess. So it could be related to friend groups. So you guys actually could have had friends that ended up dating your partners, or you've, yeah, you could have lost friends. You could have lost friends over relationships. You got the Justice card and the Five of Wands. Eight of Wands. This could be a pattern as well. Of constantly losing friends. Constantly losing friends to this kind of thing. You're constantly feeling like you have to keep up. For some of you guys, your like love temperature isn't that hot. And what I mean by that is you're not like a Don Juan, smoldering desire type of person. Like you could be like, you could have like Earth, Venus, or like, or even like a fucking air, like Venus. And in a world where like you may have to compete and show up in a certain kind of way when it comes to sexuality, sensuality, things like that, it may be kind of exhausting for you. We have the Four of Swords again, Seven of Cups, Eight of Cups, Ten of Wands, Ace of Discs, Ten of Swords. When you try to be this thing, I think there was, yeah, the Nine of Discs and the Princess of Swords. When you tried to be this thing, I do think there was some reaction, right? There was some reaction to it. It wasn't necessarily bad, but it may have been situations where like you felt like you had to keep it up. You felt like you had to keep it up. And you felt like you had to, you got the Magician, right? You felt like you had to keep it up. You felt like you got the Lovers. You got the Star. So your love style isn't, your love style may not be, Your love style isn't accepted by people, or very few people would dare to venture to go to this place. The Hermit. Very few people would venture into this realm of kind of love. Maybe, but the reward is very great because we had the Ace of Wands with the Ace of Cups, and we had, what was the other one? I don't know. But we had the two aces. Oh, the Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Discs. The white hole. I always think the white people. I'm like, what? The white people? Why is that a card? But yeah, let's read that. Because I'm going to read the Hermit too. You really want... You really want somebody to go to the depths with you. And maybe you've had cycles of people being drawn into what you put out, as in like you felt like you had to put up like a muy caliente kind of persona and stuff like that, but that's not who you are. But you're very deep and you're very passionate. You're very passionate. There's something I'm gonna ask what's in this Hermit card. If I were to go into this Hermit card, where would I go? The Hermit. At this time, you are in search of inner silence. In such a state of silence, you are present now and able to ponder the possibility of wisdom in the future. That's the Hermit card. I want to see what's in the Hermit. Into the Cups. You got, so within the Hermit, right? If you were to go travel through the Hermit, this is what you would find. Princess of Cups, Two of Wands, Six of Swords, Three of Wands, the Hierophant, and Ten of Discs. So you have, this is cool. Okay, so you are a babe. You have a lot of depth to you, a lot of power to you, a lot of stability. You don't show it. And what it may be is that it's not that you don't show it as in you don't come across as stable or anything like that. Like, you know, you have like a house or a car or job, whatever. But your inner world is very rich. And I think, okay. So let's loop back to the beginning when I said there was a gateway to like the Ace of Cups and stuff like that. Most people only are able to enter through the gate because of the fun and excitement and things like that. Very few enter the gate to explore what the Hermit has to offer, because nobody wants to explore what the fuck the Hermit has to offer. Everybody thinks the Hermit is boring as shit. Let's be real. Everybody thinks the Virgo is full of shit, but well, it's boring as shit, not full of shit. Well, but there's great lessons and there's great sensuality and sexuality and great shaking up being in this Hermit energy. Great potential for love, great potential for healing, great potential for everything. But very few people go through this gate. The only way that they would go through this gate would be because of the fun, exciting stuff. So this could be about healing in general. That people generally only go through healing phases if there's like a bunch of crystals and, you know, there's a bunch of decks and, you know, there's fairy lights and shit like that. Like, you know, and I've explored this on Instagram. Like, who would you rather see? The like very pixelated like rear that, you know, they're like in the corner and they're like doing something and it's like pixelated shit, or the very nice looking, like aesthetically pleasing, desirous kind of content or person, right? Person profile. And it's not to say that the person who has like the great shit is like boring, but it often does come out that like a lot of the like pixelated, old, frumpy looking readers and shit like that are the shit. Like, they like end up being the shit. And so you be like, damn. And then, you know, another thing, people on TikTok and stuff like that, this is just like an aside, but you know, they may not have as much substance as the person that they're in a basement and they come on and they don't look like they have something to say, but they got some real profound ass shit to say. They got really powerful stuff to say. That's not to say that that competition thing is there, right? And that sprucing up stuff like that isn't bad, but what it is saying is that the substance has to be there. And people are drawn to the people who ultimately are meant to take the path that you are meant to offer. Is they're the people who can see through all of that and move through that and go forward, right? But in terms of relationships, you may find that people get into relationships because of physicality or, you know, you're a really good sexter, you're really good in that department, but not many people can really handle the healing that is required to really get to know you. It's almost like the gate that surrounds you is the other person's healing. I've experienced that. It's like, shit don't work out for me, ever. But I heal. And so, let's get, since the Ace of Cups is on the bottom, and we got the Emperor at the top, let's wrap this on up. All the aces have come out now. You got the Moon, and then the Ace of Swords is flipped. So, some real motherfucking clarity. You got the Moon and the Ace of Swords. It's in the confusion that you bring, the unsettling that you bring, the ability to be still that you bring, that people find themselves and their strength and their healing, and it's a really good thing. And so you're waiting for that person to go through the gate and heal, and then that'll green light you to this is the one. Good for you. Got the Hanged Man. You've been waiting for a minute. Nine of Swords, Four of Cups. You know, this idea that like nobody is as weird as you or as strange as you or will get you. They're out there. They're out there, weirdo. All right. Ace of Cups wanted to show itself again. Ace of Discs. All the aces came out for you. So that's great. So, thank you, Aries or Mars. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.